Hello everyone, welcome back to Majora's Mask, Japanish. It's part 8, I believe. And we got to talk to this guy. Machi no carnibaru ga hajimaru mae ni motte kita shouhin ga hotondo urete shimatta kara. I don't know why I laughed, to be honest, but you know. Machi no carnibaru ga hajimaru mae ni motte kita shouhin ga hotondo urete shimatta kara. I don't know if this kara at the end here is like kind of the English equivalent of because all of this happened, and the result of that happening is going to be in the next text box, but or if it's just, I don't know. Sometimes this has kind of a different, like, I don't know, a reason isn't necessarily stated sometimes when you use kara dakara. I don't know. Anyway, let's go over the rest. So, Machi no Carnibaru. Carnibaru is carnival. Machi is the town. Hajimaru mae ni. Basically, this is a dictionary form verb with mae meaning before the verb. Before the verb. Interestingly, when you're saying something that something happens before something else. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous part actually, but we get this kind of relative tense thing happening in Japanese, where even if something happened in the past, you like has already happened, you still use the sort of dictionary form or the present / future tense with mae, even if it happened in the past. I suppose because it's relative to it happening. So it's weird, but basically, yeah, even if it's in the past, you still don't use the past tense with it. But that's not even what's going on here, so we don't really have to cover that with this in this case, I don't think. But hajimaru meaning to begin, and that's the intransitive form, intransitive verb. So before the carnival begins, like no one's like causing the carnival to begin. The carnival just kind of begins, doesn't it? The carnival begins on its own. If you wanted to use the transitive, which would be hajimeru, you'd have to have someone to start the carnival, mentioned in the sentence. But yeah, so basically he's saying before the town's carnival begins, tekita. Motsu is to like to have or to hold something. And so motte kuru would be like to bring. It's like to hold in the hand and, you know, come somewhere. So it's to bring something. Mottekita. Yeah, mottekita because it's the past tense, because it's things that he brought. And it's shouhin, which is essentially just products. This one meaning like commerce, and this one kind of meaning products or things, or I think like articles for sale or whatever. So it's together it just basically means products. So the products I brought. Sorry, hotondo means like almost, basically, or maybe almost all is a better translation. The Japanese have a real problem using almost in English because hotondo they translate as meaning almost, but they never, I say never, most Japanese people don't really give an amount with the word almost in English, because hotondo already means almost all or almost none on its own. So when Japanese people use the word almost, they say there are, for example, there are almost students are English, for example. Almost Japanese people don't speak English, and there's no amount to it. You know, they don't say almost all Japanese people don't speak English. They don't say almost no Japanese people speak English. They just use almost because they translate this as meaning almost, which kind of tells us that the implied within this word is almost all or almost none. But yeah, sorry, I'm sort of going off on a bit of a rant here. But just for your information, yeah, I've found Japanese people really struggle with the word almost. So hotondo in this case means almost all. Urete shimatta. Urete shimatta. Is this potential form? This might be potential form. No, no, it's not. Hold on, let me have a look. I think it's intransitive. Ureru. Yeah, it's intransitive. Okay, okay. I was confused. I wasn't sure if this was potential form because it's ureru. And normally when you say you're selling something, you just say uru. Uru. But this particle indicates that it's not the transitive for verb, because with transitive you need to use wo and not ga. So that means it's... Oh, it could still be potential. Damn it. It could still be potential, because you can use ga with potential. Ah, damn it. I don't think it's potential. I think what he's saying is the product that I brought, almost all of them have sold. I think that's what he's saying. Rather than saying I have almost been able to sell all of the products I brought, I think he's saying that they have sold. People have bought them. They have sold. They've sold out, kind of thing. And shimatta, as we've seen in past parts, means it's like the undesirable form, or well, not undesirable, unexpected. So he's come with like loads of products to sell at the carnival, but he's already kind of they've already sold unexpectedly, so he's not going to have a lot to do probably for the next few days. And then kara at the end, this could be because that has happened, because all of the products have sold out. Yeah, that seems right. So now this is the result of the previous thing having happened, which is washi mise wo shimete ka-chan ni miyage demo katte. This is sato, isn't it, normally? Sato ni kaerou to omotteiru pi. Washi just meaning I. Mise meaning shop. His shop. Shimeru just meaning like to close, I guess. So close the shop. And it's te form, just allowing the sentence to continue on afterwards. This is weird. He's saying ka-chan. I'm just going to look that up. Because ka-chan, according to my dictionary, means mother. Like oka-san. Ka-chan is being offered to me as meaning mother. But I swear in English, isn't it for his wife? So it could be a difference in the kind of... It could be a difference. They might have just intentionally mistranslated it because maybe, I don't know, maybe it sounds less odd for you to take a present back for your wife rather than for your mum. I'm not sure. Or it could just mean that this word can also mean wife. It could be even that he has kids and that with the kids he calls them, mummy, like you might do with your own kids, like ask mum, ask your mum, well, not your mum, ask mummy if you're allowed to do whatever. You kind of refer to people to how the kids would call them. I don't know. I'm really not sure. So anyway, for someone, his mum or his wife or something, ni, I guess that's like 2 or 4. Miyage demo. I don't like demo. I don't know. I still haven't got the hang of it really. I know it can kind of mean even, but people weird me out with it. I don't know why they put it in sentences sometimes, and it just weirds me out. You might have heard the word omiyage. Normally it has an honorific on it, just omiyage, which is usually like little snacks. It will usually be in like a multi-pack box, and then it will be the same snack, 12, 16 of them, and you will buy them when you go away for a trip, and then when you return home you'll sort of give one to like your family and close, maybe friends and colleagues, especially if you go on a business trip. When you come back, you'll sort of, it's not required to do so, but it's you would probably feel the expectation to bring something back for your colleagues if you went on a business trip. And I think usually, especially out in Japan, where like every sort of region, every prefecture has its speciality, like products, like food or a snack, or like Wagyu beef, for example, in Kobe, or Kobe beef, I should say, rather. And my prefectures, Ibaraki prefectures, was natto, known for natto. But yeah, that's what omiyage is. It's just the gift that you bring back when you go away on a trip, as like a little treat for people back home. Katte, just the te form of kau, meaning to buy. Sato just means like your home, basically. Your like place, or maybe not your place of birth actually, but your home where you live. Probably where you grew up, I think, usually. Ni, just meaning a preposition to like to. Kaeru, meaning to return home. But he's using the like this kind of volitional form of it. Kaero to omotteiru. Just obviously like present tense of to think. And this kind of just means, I suppose, kind of means I have decided to, basically, as a whole. Kaero to omotteiru. So I have decided to endeavour to return home with a treat for my wife or mum or something after closing my shop. Nandemo kono sekai de ichiban kagayaku tsuki no namida to kayu ishi ga aru te kitappi. I think this nan demo at the start. Nan demo. It's kind of. I think nan demo can mean whatever. It can mean whatever, and I think it's saying this world, like in this world. Ichiban means like first place, kind of. Yeah. It's sort of like, this is like an order of numbers. So first, basically, not one, but first together. So the most, the number one, kagayaku is like to glisten or to shine. So it's like the number one glistening, or the most glistening, or the most shiny, or the shiniest. Tsuki no namida is moon's tear, as we have already seen. And I think it's kind of like saying more so than whatever else, maybe more so than anything else, more so than whatever, the number one shining moon's tear in this world. And then he's saying Toka Yu. And I think, like, if it was just To Yu, it would mean I've got to go over this first. The Ishi. It's got Ishi here. So this is a stone or a gem or a jewel or whatever in this case. And it's Tsuki no Namida to Yu Ishi is a stone that is called the moon's tear. But because it's got this ka in the middle, I think that's sort of displaying his own uncertainty at whether it's called that. It's like saying there's a stone, and then to you is kind of saying called the moon's tear, and then the ka is sort of like saying or something. Like he's not entirely sure of the name. Yeah, Tsuki no namida toka yu ishi ga aru, just exists. And then te, kind of making the whole thing into like a sub-clause, almost like a quotable kind, well, not quotable, but it's making it all into a clause that can be something that he's heard, basically. So right at the end of the sentence, it's backwards again. It's like saying I heard, or I have heard, that there exists a stone called the moon's tear or something, that I suppose like shines, is the most shiny or is the shiniest thing in I suppose in this world. And then Nandemo just kind of adds I think a kind of a more so than anything else, or more so than whatever else. Damn, I don't feel like I'm doing this very good job today. Soitsu wo motte tara yuzutte hoshii bi. Soitsu just meaning that thing, referring to what he just mentioned, which was the moon's tear and all that stuff. So soitsu, that thing. Wo motte tara, again, they've kind of omitted the e in the middle, so it's kind of a conditional present tense thing. So if you currently possess it, if you currently possess that thing, yuzuru means to like transfer ownership of something. Yuzuru. I think people, you might see it on like trains as well. People do it with seats. You can yuzuru your seat to someone else. And I think they also use it for thrones. So like if you're a king, and you might kind of stand down perhaps, and you yuzuru the throne to someone else. But in this case, he wants me to yuzuru the moon's tear to him. He's saying yuzutte, got to use the te form of the verb with hoshi, and hoshi is like a kind of an adjective saying kind of desire. I desire you to pass it over to me, or I hope you will pass it over to me. But in slightly different grammatical function as in English. Cool. Soshitara, that kind of could be conditional, or yeah, it could even mean like if you do so, or when you do so. Again, we're kind of, either works really in this case. Kono basho wo deku hana mo tsukete yuzuru bi. So kono basho just meaning this place. Deku hana just meaning deku flower. That one's flower, isn't it? Mo, that just means, that's the inclusive particle. So this place, including its deku flower. Tsukete. Tsukete just means to like be attached, I suppose. Or in this case, he is attaching it, because this is the transitive form of the verb. Let me just check that skete yuzuru isn't a word. No, it doesn't seem to be. So he will throw it in. He's kind of saying, I will attach the deku hana included. I will include the deku flower in with this place. And then yuzuru, which we just covered, means to, I kind of will transfer ownership of it. And then P just being that deku thing that they say. Have we seen this yet, actually? Start wo oshite, gamen wo dashite, item wo sentaku shite tsukatte miyou. So, excuse me, press, start, screen, like dasu means to like present or to get out, like to get something out, or in this case, I suppose a better thing is to, you know, kind of cause to show, like show the screen, get the screen out, present the screen, as in the item screen, get the screen up. Item or sentaku, select an item, and then using C, or by the means of C, tsukatte miyou, try using an item, try using it here. So we're given the moon's tear. A sono ishi yuzutte hoshibi. It's pretty straightforward, just going that stone or gem or whatever. I am hopeful, or I hope, less literally, that you will, you know, give it to me, basically. Sono kawari. Sono kawari, I think we saw with the mask salesman, didn't we? Sono kawari was like in exchange. Yeah, in exchange, basically. Sono kawari, in exchange for that. Kono basho to deku hana yuzurubi. This place and its deku flower I will confer to you, I will give to you. Hi! Hi at the end. Hi. I think it's just kind of a, you know, it's just a noise, like, kind of saying, like, it's decided, or here you go, I guess. Yeah, that sort of vibe, I think. Yeah, not really much more to say on that, I don't think. Tsuki no namida wo watashite, what was this? Tochi no kenrisho wo moratta. So moon's tear. Watasu, I think we've seen this before, just means to hand something to someone else, or hand something over a gap, perhaps, anyway. In this case, means to hand to someone else. Tochi, I believe this is just like a plot of land, or a part of land. Kenri sho. I think Kenri is like your rights, basically. Let me just have a look. Kenri. Yeah, right or privilege. And then sho is basically just used for documents. So it's a document of your rights, or you know, a deed. In this case, because it's a document of your rights of land, or document of your rights to land, or whatever. So it's a deed, basically, isn't it? Moratta, just past tense of marao, meaning to receive. Oh, that was it. I thought I was going to say more. Tasukattabi. Tasukaru is like to be helped. It's intransitive, so you cannot tuskaru someone else. You have to tuskeru them. But yeah, he's kind of saying it because it's kind of like this has been helpful, or I am saved. He's not telling us that we saved him. He's saying that he has been helped, or I have been saved, or whatever. Which I'm sort of nitpicking at the difference in the verbs here, but in Japanese it would mean like exactly the same thing as you helped me. But just to try and give you a better idea of how these verbs kind of work grammatically, I'm kind of being a bit pedantic about the translations, I suppose. But if you say, he's saying tasukatta, which very basically translates as you helped me, but that kind of gives the wrong impression of how the verb works to English speakers. So I'm trying to help you understand that by giving translations that sound odd in English, but yeah. これで Ka-chan ni ii miyage ga dekita bei. Kore de kind of means like with this, or this being done. Ka-chan ni ii miyage. I just means like good or fine, I suppose in this case. A fine gift. Dekita kind of means like have produced, or like you dekita, you kind of sometimes you say that about even like getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend. If you kind of you manage to get a girlfriend or boyfriend, you can say like girlfriend dekita, I got a girlfriend, or boyfriend dekita, or whatever. So it's kind of like saying I have managed to, I guess, or I have achieved a good gift for my wife or mother. If anyone has any more clarity on whether this is wife or mother, please please comment, because I I kind of need to know. I might ask my friend, actually. She might be able to help. Yeah, cool. That's kind of what's going on. Ka-chan wa mukashi kara... I've forgotten what this is. Is this whole seki? I feel like I learnt this way back in the day. Yeah, it is whole seki. Okay. Whole seki toka ayashiku kagayaku ishi ni me ga nai pi. Hihi. So just kind of laughing at the end there. So what? Just, the topic of his wife or mother, I don't know. The woman in his life, let's just say that. The woman in his life. Mukashi just meaning like in the kind of the olden days, or a very long time ago. There are lots of like Japanese like fairy tale stories that start with just like mukashi mukashi, just meaning long, long ago. So mukashi kara means like from a long time ago, I guess. Houseki just meaning jewel, gem. Toka kind of gives like, again, a kind of a non-exhaustive list. Ayashiku kagayaku ishi ni. Okay. Ayashiku kagayaku ishi ni. Yeah. So kind of strangely shining stone. Ni, I think four. This kind of means four strangely shining stones, or whatever. Me ga nai. And me ga nai means to be absolutely like obsessed with, I think. Extremely fond of, having a weakness for. So yeah, it's kind of mega nai is, yeah. To just, yeah, well, the things I just said, right? I don't know why that grammar means what it means, but there you go, mega nai. So I guess mukashi kara is like from, from, well, since forever, it kind of means since forever, the woman in my life has been just obsessed, or had a weakness for stones that shine mysteriously, and jewels as well, and then hee just laughing. Koko no tochi no kenrishō wa dekunatsu tachi no aida de hippari hippari da ko na koto gurai. What? Oh, I remember. Do I remember this? Hippari dako na koto gurai. I don't even know where words end in this case. Dekunatsu tachi no aida de hippari dako. Hippari dako. Is that a word? Hippari dako. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Nakoto gurai. Nakoto gurai. Well, anyway, let's start at the beginning. So, koko no tochi, just meaning this land. Not Kenli shot. So all of these no's are just linking the nouns together. So here's land's deed, I suppose, or the deed for this land here. Dekunatsu, just referring to the species of the dekus. Tachi, just pluralizing it, so among dekus. I've already given away the meaning of the next word. No aida. So aida, as we said about time, is like a window of time. And I think, like, in this case, it's like, as I said already, among. In the window among dekus, I suppose, or less literally, like, just among dekus. 2 dekus, 4 dekus. And then de, I suppose, is required in this case. Deku natsu tachi no aida de. Yeah, I think it is. Probably aida de together kind of functions as among. So among dekus. Hippari dako na koto gurai. I don't feel like there's a point to this yet. Hippari dako. Well, tako means octopus, or does it mean octopus? Yeah, octopus. Tako is like octopus. And apparently hippari dako is octopus dried on skewers. And I guess that from that, this meaning came, the other meaning came, which is being very popular or being in great demand. I don't know why that came about, but hippari dako, yeah, apparently means just being sought after, very sought after. And then na, I guess just kind of so that it functions as kind of a, well, basically this na here just links it to koto. Na koto gurai. And koto kind of means what? Like a fact, or a truth, or a thing, or a phenomenon. Hippari dako na koto gurai. Gurai. Gurai kind of means like to the extent that, or at least to the point that, or around. Yeah, maybe it's like that. It's like around the extent or around the amount of being like hippari dako. Yeah, approximately, I don't know really, approximately to the point of hippari dako, but I don't think they'd be using it, the literal meaning of this word in this game. Perhaps they would. I feel like the point isn't there yet either. I think it might be on the next text box, so I'm just going to save state it. And we'll see what he says in the next one. Oh. No. Kind of didn't say anything else. I feel like that's just not... Oh. Is he just saying... Koko no tochi no kenrisho wa dekunatsu tachi no aida de hippari dako na koto kurai. Oh, is he just saying that this deku flower possesses the approximate quality, kind of, the approximate quality of being hippari dako among dekus? Maybe. I think I'll have to ask about that one. Let me just print screen that and ask about that. Something along those lines. Clearly I'm not... I don't understand it well enough, but yeah, I think it's something along those lines. So, omae nara shitteru pi. So he's saying omae with kanji, which is quite funny. But he's calling us omae. Omae nara shitteru pi. So like, if it's you, or particularly in your case, is kind of what omae nara means. Particularly for you, or particularly you, shitteru pi. you particularly should know. You in particular are in the know. You in particular know that, of course. Being a Deku, we of course know that, because we are Deku. Iranaku nattara koko nara ureru pi. So this is iru, meaning to need. Weirdly, as we know already, the the kind of existence verb for living things and animate objects or animals and stuff is iru. But iru is a different type of verb, which when negative would just be inai. And this verb to need is also iru, but it's a different type of verb, which when negative is iranai. So they conjugate differently because they're different types of verbs. So what he's saying to me, this is quite intense actually. This is iranaku, which is basically a form of iranai, kind of an adverb form of iranai. And then this is naru, meaning to become, but it's the past tense of that. So iranaku natta, no, I won't say that, sorry. Iranaku naru would mean like to become not needing it, quite literally. To become not needing it. But he's saying nattara, which is that kind of conditional thing again. So it's kind of saying if you become not needing it, or less literally, if you don't need it. If you don't need it anymore, or if you no longer need it at some point in the future. But yeah, literally saying if you become not needing it, koko nara, in this, if it's this spot in particular, particularly in this spot's case, ureru pi, and I'm pretty sure this time this is potential form of uru, meaning to sell, and ureru, so this just means, you know, it can be sold or you can sell it. Yeah, ureru pi. Soreja. Soreja is kind of, that's the jar here. You see this quite a lot with jar. It's a combination of de and wa together. Dewa, meaning jar, which becomes jar. And that kind of just means with that being done, sort of, or with that all being said. And there kind of isn't, like, you know, like there isn't like information after it. It's kind of like just saying with that, and then off he goes. But yeah, pretty normal in Japanese just to say soreja when you're like leaving. I remember actually one of the janitors at the school that I used to work at. We were sort of just walking the same way and kind of talking about stuff. And yeah, he said this to me, like when we parted ways in a corridor. He was going to his office or whatever, and I was going to the staff room or whatever. And he just kind of went soreja, and like just we parted ways. But yeah, it kind of means like with that, and then goodbye is kind of implied, I suppose. With that, see you later, and off he goes. I don't really want to go and do the well, I can't do the clock tower right now because it's not day 3, but so what I'll do then is I'll do the scarecrow. I was going to say I don't want to try to do the clock tower because there'll be a lot of text there and it will make this video like probably 40 minutes longer than it already is, so I don't want to do that. Alright, here we go. So we've got yo baby, just meaning I assume like yo baby, like just kind of a, you know, kind of casual greeting, and then baby on the end for some reason. Ora naisu na ongaku wo motomete sasura o koiki na kakashi da. Ora, just similar to ore, I guess. less masculine sounding. But yeah, ora. Naisuna ongaku, just meaning nice music. Excuse me. Wo motomete, as we've seen already, that kind of means to seek out or to search for or desire and therefore seek out. Sasurao just means to wander the land, I think. Sasurao just means to, yeah, wander, tour the world, and yeah, to wander, to roam. Roaming. There you go, roaming. That's a good translation. Koiki. Let's have a look. Koiki. I think that just means like energetic. Oh, smart and stylish. Koiki. Yeah. Well, we'll finish this first. Koiki na Kakashi. Kakashi is just a scarecrow. That's what he is. And koiki obviously is a na adjective because we've got that attached to it. But yeah, koiki just means smart or stylish, apparently. This iki kind of comes in a few words that kind of describe someone's personality. In this case, we've got koiki. Wait a minute. Am I even right with this? Let me just search these kanji together. I can't even remember what the other word that I'm trying to think of is. Oh, nama iki. Nama iki is the one I was thinking of, which means impertinent, cheeky. Basically, it means cheeky. Impertinent. Brazen, audacious. But yeah, I think this iki kind of points to like a personality trait, and koiki is like smart, stylish. And as I just said, like namaiki is like cheeky, basically. Oh, that's weird. Toku ige. It's got a completely different reading on it, but it's the same kanji. It means proud or elated. Ko namaiki, impudence, cheekiness. Buiki means vulgarity, lack of refinement. So yeah, I can't find actually that many words, but I've found that there are a few that have this iki in it that kind of point to a kind of personality trait or whatever. Ora to odoreba atoyu ma ni jikan ga susumu ze. Let me. Toyu ma ni. Is it ma? I don't know if this is ma or not. Anyway, ora to odoreba. This is kind of conditional. Odoru is to dance. And so this form of conditional, you take odoru and you change it to odoreba. Odoreba. So yeah, ora to odoreba, if you dance with me. This to is like with in this case, doing the verb with him. If you dance with me. Atoyu ma kind of means like just like that. Like quickly. I suppose maybe it literally means within the window of time that you could say maybe. So in the span of time that it would take for someone to say it's kind of maybe. So it's like atoyumani. So it means that time goes so fast, you know, you don't have time to. It's like in the blink of an eye, isn't it? You don't even have the time to say just click and it's gone. The time's gone. So it's very suddenly, very quickly. In the blink of an eye. I think that's literally how it gets translated, actually, in English, isn't it? Time will pass in the blink of an eye or something, maybe. Anyway, jikan ga susumu. So time, susumu just means to advance or to progress. So jikan ga susumu, air time will progress in the blink of an eye if you dance with me. And then ze is just kind of a just adds like a kind of a different vibe to how he talks, basically. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just Susunuze. Just kind of adds a kind of insistent sort of, but also kind of, what's the word? I suppose kind of a cool vibe to it, but it also kind of doesn't. It just changes the vibe a little bit. It's what Zia does. Baby ga nozomu nara jikan wo wasurete asa made danshingu da. So baby ga. So he's talking about us. We are baby to him now, apparently. Baby ga nozomu nara. So if, basically, I think in this case this is just a conditional. If you desire it, or if you wish for it, if you wish. Jikan wo wasurete, forget time, and asa made, until morning, danshingu. This kind of, I think, functions as like a noun in Japanese, or it kind of does in English as well, doesn't it? Let's go dancing. Do you like dancing? Kind of functions as a noun. And as I may have said already in a previous part, like, you can kind of end things in nouns in Japanese. So yeah, danshingu da. I suppose if you wanted to translate it literally, it would be like, it will be dancing until morning, if you so desire, which is obviously weird in English, but works in Japanese. So he's just saying in English, sharu we dansu? Sharu we dansu? Shall we dance? And then obviously you can say iie, meaning no, and hai, meaning yes. We're going to say hai. And he's saying, oh, yeah. I guess that's just a noise. Yeah. So he's pretty excited. Sonnara, jikan wo wasurete, let's dance. Sonnara, I guess is just, you know, if it's that case, or if that's the case, if it's that way, if it's like that, or in that case. Jikan wo wasurete, forget time, let's dance. Obviously English, let's dance. To Saria's soul. Oh. Okay. This is odd to me. Tsugi no hi no asa. So tsugi just means next. So the next day's morning. Which is funny. Tsugi no hi. I wonder if that's just acceptable, maybe, in Japanese, to just call it the next day rather than the second day. The day after the first day, maybe, could be the meaning. I don't know, really. Ato 48 jikan, so, you know, as we've said, 48 hours remaining. So, yeah, literally, that's the next day's morning. But I wonder why that's acceptable in Japanese, to call it the next day rather than the second day. Maybe that's just my translation being wrong. Oh, yeah, do. Attoyuma dattaro. Attoyuma. I think this is ma. Attoyuma ni. Maybe. I don't think it could be either. That's too long. Dattaro. Ora wa mada mada genki ippai. So again, just a noise. Do. Just saying like, how, quite literally. Or, you know, how was it? How, yeah, how was that? How did you find that? Do. Or maybe how, no, I don't think it's how are you feeling. I think it's do. How was it? What did you think of that then? Kind of vibe. Attoyuma dattaro. So he's just saying like the blink of an eye, wasn't it? Dattaro. I think this is a bit like daro, which means right, but dattaro is just kind of the, just a conjugated past tense form of it. Attoyuma dattaro. Ora wa mada mada genki ippai. Mada mada just meaning, mada on its own means like not yet or still something is such a way, or that not yet something is such a way. Mada mada just, I guess, sort of exaggerates it, like I still have a lot of energy left, kind of thing. And genki, yeah, I think is just like, to be lively. And ippai, as we've seen already, just means like, yeah, filled with energy. Yeah, cool. So he's saying the same thing again. Oh, well, he's saying until night this time, of course. Yoru made danshinge. Shall we dance? Yes, we need to get to day 3. So I'm just going to skip through to day 3, and then we'll go through his last few text boxes, and then I'll end the part. Okay. Oh wait, I just missed that, did I? Damn it. Sorry everyone. Yeah, I could do this here actually. He's going to talk to me, isn't he? So he's saying, "Oh, sorry." That's obviously English for sorry. Suitsu wa zannen. Suitsu, just meaning like that decision, I suppose, or that your decision, the thing you've just said, perhaps in this case. Suitsu wa zannen, and zannen basically just means a shame. Yeah, zannen. You just kind of say it like that's a shame. So suitsu wa zannen just means that is a shame, basically. Sonnara, if that is the case, ora to danshingu shitaku nattara itsu demo oide. Yeah, so kind of again, like we had with iranaku nattara, which was if you become not needing it anymore. This is shitaku nattara, which is shitai would be the desire form of suru. And we've still got this conditional of like if you become wanting to dance, in this case, if you become wanting to dance, or if, when I suppose, when you want to dance with me. Itsu demo just means like any point. Itsu means when, but itsu demo just kind of means whenever. At any point. Itsu demo oide. And oide just means to come here. I think oide pretty much is only ever used in this form. Oide. And it kind of just means, yeah, to come here, as in kind of a request kind of way. Oide. Yeah, I don't think it ever gets used in any other way, really. It probably does, but it's going to be so limited that I don't think you're going to see it in any other way, really. Oide. I remember a teacher actually at school kind of using this. She asked if any of the students in her class like wanted like seconds for lunch or whatever, because there's often stuff left over that hasn't been dished out or whatever, because everyone's got enough already. And then they do seconds or whatever, and she was just like, everyone who wants seconds, oide, like come and get it then, sort of thing. So that's what it means, and I don't think you'll see it in any other form, really. Yeah. Tokoro de. So that just means by the way, is how that's kind of best translated. I don't know why it means that, but I think sometimes you're just better off not wondering why things mean something. You're just better off just accepting that it does and going with it. So tokoro de, just in this case, just means by the way. おら、時間を自由に操れる不思議な曲の話を知っているんだが。So it's all modifying the kyoku in this case, which means song or melody. But yeah, kyoku. So I suppose I should start at the end. Shitteru means to know, doesn't it? I know a story or a rumor or information. I suppose I know information of a song. Or rather, a mysterious song. Fushigi means like mysterious. Fushigi na kyoku, a mysterious song. With which, I suppose, ayatsuru means to like manipulate or control. Ayatsuru. And so ayatsureru is the potential form of that. So can control, can manipulate. Jiyu just means like freedom. And Jiyu ni is freely. So can freely control time. So yeah, I know information about a mysterious song with which one can control time freely, is what he's saying. And then undanga, this is just kind of, again, this kind of insistent kind of explanatory tone, just kind of adds that. And then the ga at the end just kind of allows a little bit of modesty into it, I suppose. It's like while he's telling you about it, he's saying like ga at the end because he doesn't want to insist on telling you. He's kind of allowing himself this like but at the end in a kind of a modest kind of way. I know this story kind of adds a little bit of like kind of implies maybe, but if you don't want to, that's fine. It kind of just adds a little bit of modesty onto the end. But in this case, I think he's actually going to finish the sentence in the next text box. Shiritai kai? Maybe not. Maybe that isn't really linked. I feel like the ga there could have been either. He could have just used it to add modesty kind of into the end of his sentence, or it could have been, I know this story, but do you want to know it? Either kind of work, I suppose. Yeah, shiritai kai. This kai is kind of a bit of a playful wording. Kai dai. Kind of, yeah. You kind of get this from kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say quirky people, but it is a kind of a quirky, little kind of fun, little playful sort of way of speaking. Shiritai kai? Do we want to know it? I guess I'll say yes, and we'll read it. Even though time is going on. Oh, yay! So it's just English saying yay. Sonnara yoku kiite kure. If that's the case, like, well, listen for me. Like, listen well, basically. Sono fushigi na kyoku wa sakasa ni ensou suru to toki no hayasa wo yukkuri ni dekite. So this wa is just bringing up the topic of that song, isn't it? So that mysterious song, and then sakasa ni ensou suru. This to makes it a conditional, so it's like if, kind of. It's kind of like if you perform it. Ensou is to like perform, or I suppose ensou suru makes it into the verb to perform. Ensou is a performance, but yeah, ensou suru is to perform or to play music. And sakasa ni, I guess, must mean in reverse, like inverted, backwards. Toki no hayasa, time's speed. As I said before, like, you take the e adjective. I think it works with na adjectives as well, actually, but in the case of e adjectives, in this case hayai, you take the e off and change it to sa instead, and it becomes like an amount of the adjective. So hayai means fast, hayasa means speed. Toki no hayasa wo yukkuri ni dekite. Yukkuri means like relaxed, at ease. I suppose in this case that meaning kind of extends to being, kind of slow. So yeah, relaxed, at ease, slow, that kind of vibe to yukkuri. Ni dekite. This is kind of the potential form of suru. Ni suru means to make something have a quality, I suppose, or to make something be an adjective. So to make something be slow. And because it's potential, it's kind of like you can make time be slow or relaxed or whatever. Hitotsu no oto o nikai zutsu ensou suru to. Oh gosh, I don't know the reading of this here. Hannichi? Jikan ga susumerarelu lashinda. Okay, hitotsu no oto is like, hitotsu no is basically one, and you need the no to attach it to the noun, so it's one note, basically. Nikai zutsu is like 2 times each, I believe. Zutsu means like, yeah, each, basically. So 2 times each. So one note, 2 times each. Ensou suru to, if you perform it in that way. I'm just going to look up the reading of this. It could be hannichi, which I guess it is. Yeah. Hannichi jikan ga. So half a day of time, basically. Half a day of time. Susumeru is the transitive of to advance something. So I am causing the time to advance forward. So I am susumeruing the time. And then lalelu is like the potential form again. So it's susume lalelu. So you can advance time half a day. And then lashi is like unconfirmed hearsay, I believe. It means that he has heard that that is the case, but he has not confirmed it himself. I believe. So it basically means it's a rumour that he's heard. He's heard that you can advance time half a day by playing one note 2 times each. Or I suppose, yeah, every note, maybe. Every note 2 times each. Doudai, omoshiroi hanashi daro. So again, he's kind of asking us, like, how do you think, what do you think of that? How do you feel about what I just said? Omoshiroi meaning hanashi, omoshiroi meaning interesting, and hanashi meaning story or, piece of information, spoken piece of information, I suppose. Omoshiroi hanashi daro, isn't it? It's an interesting fact, isn't it, I suppose. Demo, ora wa sonna kyoku yori, Bebe no tsukutta kyoku no hou ga kitto ikasu to omou ze. Demo meaning but. Ore wa, just bringing up the topic of himself, in my case. Sonna kyoku yori, more than that song, that sort of song that I just spoke about. Bebe no tsukutta kyoku no hou ga. So songs made by you, basically. We are Bebe, aren't we? We are Bebe. So Bebe no tsukutta kyoku. So songs that I made, Bebe made. Songs made by Bebe. No hou ga. Again, this is like saying, more so than this song, the way of your songs. Kitto meaning for sure or undoubtedly. Ikasu. Oh, okay, I didn't know this word. To be smart, to be cool, to be sharp, to be stylish. So he's basically saying, I think that songs made by you would for sure be much cooler than the song I just described. To omo just obviously meaning I think that. I think that songs that you make would be much better than, or much cooler than, to be cooler than the song I just told you about. Damn. And then he's saying, yokattara kikasete kure yao. Yokattara just meaning like if it's okay, or if you're cool with it, or whatever. If you don't mind. Kind of conditional, isn't it? Yokattara, if you're happy to, if you're good with it, if you're cool. And then this is the causative form of kiku. So kiku means to listen, and this kikaseru, as it would mean to cause to listen, or to allow him to listen, to let him listen, to show him our songs. So kikasete kure, and then yo just adding kind of a, emphasis onto the end there. Bloody hell. Oh, look, it's just last at the end there. I'm going to dance with him one more time real quick. Yes. Because I need to kind of see the last... I need to see the information that comes up when we get to night time. Oh, okay. Saiki no yoru. That's interesting. Saiki no yoru, I believe. As we know already, sai means like the most of something. Isn't that ki? Have I written it wrong? Isn't it ki-kan? Can't type. Oh no, what the? How did I get that wrong? That's interesting. So this is also read as saigo. But normally with saigo, meaning last, you use a different kanji. But it might be very intentional because the definition in my dictionary says one's last moment or one's time of death. So it could be that, yeah, they're obviously, they have the same reading, and it might have the double meaning of being the last night and also, that kind of much more morbid, the very last moment of life kind of final. So the last night, ato 12 jikan, so 12 hours remaining. Cool, interesting. Yeah, I better leave that there. We've read this already. Oh! Owakare ni. Owakare ni. I've missed a bit, haven't I? I feel like I'd better go over it. This video is just going to be long. Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Now I've got to skip through all the time again. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no, I skipped this one, didn't I? Demo, nandaka, soto ga yabai funiki ni natte kitande. Ora, taun mo hanareru ze. So demo meaning but, nandaka. I guess this is kind of like nandaka. Does that mean like somehow or in some way? A little, somewhat, somehow. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I guess in the best translation maybe is somewhat. Soto ga yabai funiki ni natte kitande. Soto meaning outside. Yabai is a great word. Excellent word. It means like... Honestly, I suppose I would best translate this as the F word. It kind of has that many meanings to it. It can kind of mean like really good or really bad. So I guess in this case, yeah, it means like really bad. Yabai fun iki. Fun iki is just like an atmosphere or a vibe to a room. An atmosphere to a room. I don't really know why I'm specifying room. But yeah, it means like atmosphere or vibe. Fun iki. Ni natte de. Natte is to become. And this kuru, natte kuru or natte kita, means it's kind of incrementally done so. It has incrementally come to the point that it is now a yabai fun iki. Natte kitan de. I think this unde could be a contraction of no de, meaning so. Yabai fun iki ni natte kitan de. So outside is a complete shit show. Or has become a complete shit show. So, ora town wo hanareru ze. I, town, and hanareru means basically to create distance between, or to flee, or to get away from. Or as I said, probably best translated as to create distance between. Yeah, hanareru. So he's going to get away from town. Owakare ni. So in farewell, I suppose. As a parting. In parting, perhaps, is best translation. We've already read this. I do not. Oh, sorry. Soitsu wa zannin. Sonja shiyu baby. Yeah, okay. Man, this one went really long. I'll try and trim it down in editing, but yeah. Sorry about that. Alright, cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it was worthwhile, and I'll see you in the next part.